you want to just leave that door open, the front door? Can you do that anyway?
In case he comes?
He's coming, so.
He's coming. All right.
If we leave that open, he could just walk in and sit down and do his part. It's fucking ridiculous. This is 27 Down, the perfect podcast for the perfect game. What up, guys? We are here. It's 6:48 on Thursday, and CJ's not here. He is running late. Like I said on Twitter the other day, he got a promotion to head of the Dick Science Department. So he's going to be late for the rest of his life. So that's going to be awesome for us in our scheduling. Conflicts will continue. So yeah, it's almost 7 o'clock. We were supposed to film at 6 today, and he's late. And, no offense to him, but this is kind of an issue. And I have to basically ramble for the next 15 minutes or until he shows up and does his part of the show. So we're going to be talking about... let's just jump right into it, talk about the Giants. They have narrowed their manager choices down to 3. It is going to be Gabe Kapler, or the bench coach of the Rays, who is Matt Quatraro, or the bench coach of the Astros, who is Joe Espada. My biggest issue is not those 3 guys. That's fine. I think a majority of us know who those 3 guys are, especially Gabe Kapler. He just got fired by the Phillies, and I believe he was with the Dodgers in some capacity before that. It's frustrating to me because they interviewed a bunch of guys within the organizations, including Hensley Bam Bam Mullins, who, if you know, he was a Yankee in the late 80s, early 90s. He's also the coach of the Kingdom of the Netherlands, or the Carousel team for the World Baseball Classic. So he's been Didi's coach. And has worked very well with Didi and some of Didi's fielding issues and other issues throughout the past, 5 years or whatever. So I actually really wanted him when we went with Boone. Hensley was my choice over Boone. So it pisses me off that the Giants are not even going to consider him, and he's most likely going to leave. I'm hearing rumors that he could possibly go as a bench coach or another type of coach to the Marlins. Good for them. They're getting a very smart coach who's been in the game for the past 3 or 4 decades. He speaks 5 languages, including Japanese and Spanish. What else? I just think he knows how to manage the game really well, and I think that it's frustrating that a lot of these teams will pick a coach based on their name because that's what the fans know, and that's fine if you want to do that. But you're going to pick a coach who just got fired to replace a guy who was with you for over a decade, who shaped the way your franchise was over the past 10 years. He won you 3 championships, and I know a majority of you fans out there are upset that Bochy is gone, and I would be too. He's probably the equivalent of what Joe Torre and Joe Girardi were for us, and I don't know if Boone's ever going to reach that level. But the fact that they had a coach who, I don't know if he gave the endorsement to Bam Bam Mullins, but I know he worked with him for, like I said, about 10 years, so that's an endorsement in itself. They had like an interview with him, but they had an interview with him all those years ago, when the Yankees were looking at him too. It's not like you don't know what kind of coach he is. So I don't understand why they've narrowed it down to these 3 candidates when we also know there's Buck Showalter out there and there's a bunch of other players that are better names than the 3 names that they're bringing. I think I've made my point on that issue. So my guess is they go with Gabe Kapler. I would go with Joe Espada just because it's the Astros. They tend to really push out some good coaches. I know Alex Cora was a bench coach for the Astros before going to the Red Sox, and obviously got a ring in his first year. So Who knows? Maybe Joe Espada is good. I know Mickey Callaway is now the pitching coach for the Angels. That's cool. That's pretty much all he's good at is pitching, coach stuff. So my guess is he's going to be good over there. He's going to piss us all off and all the Mets fans off by turning that rotation into like the best rotation in baseball. Watch Ohtani go like 20-2 with a 1.20 ERA now. They still have Matt Harvey. I think they got rid of him finally, right? Pretty sure they released him, but if they still had him, that's hilarious. So yeah, we got those two teams. I've been watching a little bit Knicks and Nets lately. The Knicks are so bad. I said 2 weeks ago that they're playing better, and I don't want to say they're playing better from an athletic standpoint, but it's more fun to watch this young group of kids give it their all than some of the teams we had in the past. Part of the problem, and I've seen this from the Facebook group, is a lot of fans are conflicted on whether to give more minutes to the acquisitions that we got this offseason, like Morris, Payton, and those guys. I know Payton was just hurt, or to give those minutes to the kids like Mitchell and and those guys. I'm pretty sure all Knicks fans still hate Frank Ntilikina. We're probably never going to like him. But we have pieces here. We have some nice players that can be something, hopefully. But it's a process. Did we not realize when we traded KP that was going to be a rebuilding process and the start of it? You don't trade your best player and get nothing for him thinking that it's going to turn into your franchise. So what we're doing is we're trying to rebuild and retool through these young kids and smart decisions. And I think that might be the case because there were not going to be any free agent acquisitions for us that were huge other than Morris or I think we got Randall as well. But as far as let's just jump back to the Yankees. As far as the offseason goes, this offseason feels drastically different than what last year was. And I think that's because the market is kind of already set. Last year, you had one starting pitcher who was supposed to be the ace of the offseason. That was Corbin. Do any of us think Corbin is a number one tier ace? I don't. I think he is a very, very good mid-tier number two. And I think we saw that in the playoffs. Do you give a mid number two tier player a huge contract like the one Corbin did, or do you give that to a player like Cole or Strasburg knowing that they are a number one tier player and an ace? I think it's a pretty easy answer. You give it to Cole or Strasburg. And I think that's part of the reason why they brought Corbin in and waited to see what it could be. Because you're not going to give him a $160 million deal if it means you're not going to be in this year's class. And it also, I think the reason they did that is because last year you saw how close you were to making it to the World Series, or the playoffs rather. And I know we lost to the Red Sox, but this year we made it to the American League Championship Series. It was a very frustrating series, but I don't think that we lost because we were significantly a worse team than the Astros. I think we lost because of drastic mistakes, leaving runners on. Our pitching was actually pretty damn good. So with that being said, I think that this offseason is going to move more quickly. I think that it's going to be more exciting. I think that whether we get Cole or Strasburg, we're still going to make pieces to balance out this roster. Part of the reason we struggled in the playoffs was, like I said, we did not hit with runners in scoring position. We had one DJ LeMahieu, and we had Torres, who is a young kid who, he's trying his best and he killed it, but you can't rely on him to do that every single time. So it's going to be nice to see what we do with some of the pieces like Gio and Duhar, Clint Frazier, Estrada, Florial. And plus all the guys who are going to be on the Rule 5 draft. So I do think we're going to see a lot of shifting of players this offseason. We might even lose Voit. We might get a completely new first baseman for next year. We don't know that. But look at some of the starting pitchers. Like I said, if we want to talk about the Tier 1 and Tier 2, the Tier 2 class this year is that much better than what the Tier 2 class was last year. And the fact that Corbin was in Tier 1 made a lot of those players look less significant. But so let's look at some of the guys that you can get this year. Ryu, I believe, is available. Who else? Dallas Keuchel's available again. Yeah, there's a couple of really good pitchers that you can try to get. CJ is about to park, so let's hope he fucking hurries up because I am running out of shit to fucking say. Jesus Christ! What was that, like 10 minutes? What do you want me to fucking talk about right now? This is ridiculous. I'm actually getting triggered, and he's not even fucking here right now. Look how annoyed I am. Jesus Christ. Okay, I'm gonna just look through the ESPN.
Not your fault. Just remember that. Hold on to that.
Yeah, it's not my fault. That's what the producer, Joe, says. It's not my fault. Okay, I'm going to hold on to that. Thank you, Joe. So Jamal Adams has finally cleared the air with Adam Gase and the GM. Does anyone give a shit about that story? Does anyone care? God damn it, Jamal Adams. You're the face of this franchise. I was so excited when we drafted you, and you were an awesome, fun kid who said everything the right way. I can't believe you actually got upset that they had a conversation about moving you. Did they move you? They talked to one fucking team. They talked to the Cowboys, and then you have the arrogance to say, I would have liked playing for the Cowboys. You weren't even close to going to the Cowboys. You're being a spoiled little brat. That's it. And CJ is downstairs. So I'm just telling him that the door is unlocked, even though I already have. But I'm going to do it again because I don't have time for this shit. Jamal Adams. If they give you 3 or 4 first-round picks, then yes, you probably consider that move. But they didn't. They talked to you on one. They talked to you on one pick, and you said, no, thank you. Why are you upset, Jamal? Why are you upset? There's no reason to be upset. I'm upset because I'm trying to do a show when my co-host isn't here. That's a reason to be upset. You not getting traded is not a reason to get upset. We love you in New York. Please, you need to calm down and play for this team. I think they're coming up the stairs. Please hurry up. Do your introduction, CJ. I think they're coming. Maybe not. The door's closing. Oh, God. I'm just going to sit here and play with my hands. Fucking shit. See what I have to deal with? Hello? 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 Yeah, see, because the people listening on the audio right now are like, I don't know what's going on. What's going on? Nothing's going on. We're waiting for CJ to sit his ass down in the chair. That's what's going on. And I'm just trying to keep talking about sports. Yeah, we're talking sports. That's cool. I enjoy talking of the sports. You want to talk movies? Okay, let's talk movies real quick. There's a really good movie called The Peanut Butter Falcon. It's with Shia LaBeouf and Bruce Dern. And it's about a awesome kid with Down syndrome who lives in a state home, and he wants to be a wrestler, so he leaves. Okay. I think CJ is here. I don't know. I have not given the signal that he is here yet. I don't know if he's in the building. I think CJ's in the building, but
baby!
He's in the building.
I'm in the house!
Jesus.
Biatch!
We had a great show until you got here. Can we fit him in the frame?
Am I in the frame? I need to get in the fucking frame. Let's get
Don't
close.
get close to me, Jesus.
Yeah. Something smells minty.
Yes.
Did you say the line at the beginning?
This is 27 Down, the perfect podcast
yeah.
for the perfect game.
No, but you obviously didn't do the. In the beginning, there was baseball. It's been forever. It's been forever. It's been forever and a day.
He's really gonna annoy me. I'm about to flip this tape. Look how close you are.
I gotta get in the camera. The Nationals won the World Series.
I know. Aren't you excited about that?
Yeah,
we were
it's-
literally just talking about
It's
that.
pretty awesome. It's pretty awesome because the Astros can suck it.
The fact that the road team won every game is
Weird. Weird.
The Astros won 3 in a row in DC, and I was so nervous.
The entire thing on Twitter was, we gotta get home field advantage for the ALCS. We gotta get home field advantage for the ALCS. The Astros were like 1,000,000,001 at home, and that happens. They lost 4 straight at home.
Yep.
When
Yeah.
was the last time? I need to know if the Astros at any point this season.
And it wasn't, because if you looked at every series, they worked till the end of the series. The first was 5, it was 6 for us, and then it was 7 again. So
Yeah.
they really had to work to try to win that championship, and you can see why they lost.
It's so bizarre. Every one of those games, I think the entire World Series, there may have been like 4 lead changes the entire time.
Yeah.
Maybe 4 or 5. And I think it was like, there was like 1 in game 1 and maybe a couple in game 2, a couple in game 7, and that was it.
How old is Soto?
At this point, he's got to be like 20.
I think he's like 20.
I think he's 20. I think he was 19 when he came up.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he was, because it's hilarious. Again, on Twitter, everyone is demanding that we see, what's his name? The 16-year-old, Jason.
I know who you're talking about. They had him.
They literally just
yeah.
got him with the international pool money, but everyone is either going, we better see him by the time he's 18, just like Soto, or they're saying, we better trade him for Trout right now.
Do you know how rare it is that players come up as a teenager? I mean, it doesn't happen. You have guys like Bryce Harper who were up at 19. You have guys like kid Urias, Julio Urias. He was up at 19.
He's really good. He's doing great.
I mean, I thought it was astounding that Glaber was up when he was, what, 20?
20, 21, yeah.
So,
Yeah,
I mean,
20, yeah.
how often does that happen? That does not happen.
No.
So to ask for that is to be a punk. And it makes you a clown shoe. And it also makes you a window licker.
That's true.
Hey, what else are we going to talk about? World Series is
I mean,
fun.
I've literally been talking for the last 20 minutes by myself.
sounds
I
like
did
hell.
a bunch of noises and stuff,
That
too.
sounds like absolute hell.
No, it was a great
You did a
show.
bunch of noises.
Yeah. It was...
Why am I here? Why did I do this?
I had to hold the audience while you were on your another vacation or whatever it is you're doing when you're not here.
Go fuck yourself.
I deserve that.
Yeah, you did.
I said you got promoted to the dickhead department.
Dickhead department. Sounds nice. Yeah, the dickhead department pays a lot. And the dickhead department also has insane hours. I feel like it might still be a little early to talk free agency, but we can at least talk about some guys. What do you think about Steven Strasburg opting out?
I thought he would.
Yeah. You don't think it's a little risky?
It's very risky.
Yeah,
It's
in the
very risky.
environment.
He had 4 years, $100 million left, so it's very risky because you're banking on the fact that you will get a significant amount more than that.
So do you think he's gonna get more than that?
I do.
You do?
I think he can possibly get a 6 to 7 year, 225 to 250 deal.
How old is he? 30?
He's 31.
31.
It makes me very nervous because of his age and his injury history.
So first of all, that makes me feel extremely old. Because I still remember the day he came up and mowed down the Pirates for 14 strikeouts in his first appearance.
Yeah.
Secondly,
He's literally my age.
wow, yeah. I mean, if you
I'm
put it like
old.
that, yeah. It's weird, right? Because we have this weird environment in free agency right now, and we just don't know what guy. It's so interesting to see guys that we thought would get big deals. I mean, the guy's not going to sign until spring training.
Right.
I mean, that's just how free agents are these days.
Most likely that's where it's going to go.
So not only is he 30, you said 31, right?
Yep.
Not only is he 31, he also has history on that elbow.
Yep. Whereas I believe Cole is 29 but about to turn 30 before the season.
Right.
If you remember, Corbin was 30 last year when he signed, I believe.
Yeah, that's why the Yankees didn't want to get him. It wasn't the money; it was that extra year.
Yeah,
It was
that's exactly what it was.
they
And I
didn't
think it was a
wanna have him
wise
until-
decision because we have seen how inconsistent Corbin was for the Nationals. I mean, he had a couple bad in the playoffs.
Yeah. That's going to happen though.
Yeah,
you
it
can't
is.
really. You're not going to sign a free agent based on such a small sample size of the playoffs.
Right.
I'm actually going to disagree. I'm going to say that it was a bad move by the Yankees not to give him that 7th year because, dude, you're the New York Yankees. You wipe your ass with money. If he sucks by the 6th or 7th year, you cut him.
If it means this year we get Cole, then I would have picked Cole over Corbin every time.
Okay, well, if it means this year we win the fucking World Series,
Does it, though?
I could.
Because
I mean,
he wasn't the deciding factor for the
he
Nationals
wasn't
at all.
the deciding national for the factors, but it's a little bit of a fallacy to say what he did for the Nationals would have been what he does for the Yankees.
Correct. No, I agree with that.
So he could have been.
He could have been on
completely
either
different.
spectrum of
He
this.
wouldn't
Yeah.
have been playing the same teams.
Correct.
And we saw how the Astros hitting could not really touch the Yankees all that much outside of a couple of innings.
They were rather mediocre, and
it was George Springer. It was
Yep.
George Springer that did all of the damage.
I think Altuve was.
It was
good.
Springer and Altuve,
Little
who, by the way, I hope his kids never learn how to read. I hope Jose Altuve's kids
Christ.
never learn how to read because he makes me angry.
Hopefully, he doesn't send them to your school then.
I will fail them. I will fail them, and I will make sure that they. I will take their lunch money every day.
You know, they're probably the same height as their father, his kids.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know how old his kids are, so it's possible that they already know how to read. And if that's the case, I hope they forget how to read.
Okay.
So that's what I have to. That's my take on Jose Altuve.
Got it. Glad you rushed over here to let us know that.
Yeah. Goodbye, everybody. I'll be. I literally have one note on my notepad, and it's Jose Altuve's children.
Yeah, I talked about the Jamal Adams situation a little bit. Do you want?
Oh, he's a.
Yeah, you want to give
First of all, listen. Why is Adam Gase the coach of the Jets?
We both agreed that the hiring of him in the first place was utterly ridiculous. So.
It made no sense.
Still doesn't.
And people were talking about, well, yeah, at one point he was the offensive coordinator when Peyton Manning was on the Broncos, so that went well.
Right.
Let me explain something to you. Let me explain this to you in the best way that I can. That was Peyton Manning. He was already an established goddamn name. He was already a Hall of Famer
Right.
at that point. Okay? Adam Gase is not the reason why Peyton Manning was so good. Okay?
Does Peyton Manning even remember that Adam Gase has worked with him? I doubt he.
Peyton Manning told the Jets that they should sign him.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Oh,
He
Jesus
endorsed Adam Gase to the Jets.
That I did not know, and wow, Peyton.
So the Jets lost to a Dolphins team that's trying their hardest to lose. On their week 1 roster, there were 14 players that were not even in camp with them. There were 14 players that they signed after the final cut day. They're trying to lose. They're trying to lose every single game so they can draft either Tua or who's that
Yeah.
kid, Burrow from
Yeah.
LSU.
100%. I
They're
mean, they
trying.
They
to
even
lose.
traded Drake, who was not a great running back, but he was decent.
They traded Laramie Tunsil to get draft picks.
That's true, yeah.
Oh my God! So we start there. Adam Gase is such a turd, but you can't fire him. You can't fire him. I've been ranting a lot about this, and I've been saying to myself, yeah, they got to get rid of him. What's that going to do to Sam Darnold to have 3 coaches in 3 years?
It's not good, and it's God.
You got to think of his development, and you got to think of the fact that teams that replace their head coach like their toilet paper rolls, those teams don't do well.
They don't. No, not at all.
The 49ers did that for a few years, and the Browns did that for like a decade, and the Raiders did that.
That's the biggest concern is Sam Darnold, because we drafted a guy who we think is going to be our franchise quarterback, but we don't give him a level of guidance to get him there. That's not fair to him.
And then Quincy Enunwa goes and breaks his neck for the 5th time, and C.J. Mosley gets hurt, and their first round pick gets hurt. And listen, I don't want to hear anyone talk trash about Le'Veon Bell. The guy is a superstar. The guy is fantastic. But you know what? The reason why he's so great in Pittsburgh is because they also had a really, really good quarterback with really, really good weapons, so nobody really know who to cover.
And a fantastic coach who has been there for how long?
I think like 12 years, 13 years. And maybe more. He might be, other than Belichick, he might be the most tenured coach in the NFL.
Pete Carroll might be the other, but
I think the other one is Harbaugh, John Harbaugh.
That makes sense. But the point is, if you look at those 4 names that we just mentioned, they all have had a high level of success at least during 1 or 2 seasons, and they've stayed with those teams for a length of time. Their quarterbacks have also been there for a while because you need to build that relationship. That's the most important relationship on the team is the coach and the quarterback probably.
Yeah, and you can't have a quarterback learn from 3 different people because that's 3 different mindsets, 3 different schools of mentality, and then now the guy is just stretched all over the place.
Have you seen the hilarious GIF of Adam Gase at a press conference where he's like looking like this, and the taco's flying, and he's like following the taco? It's like, that's what I know him for. That's your best thing for the Jets is your taco gift, you asshole.
I kind of feel like the only reason they signed him is because the Dolphins kept beating the Patriots. I'm going to go with that. I think that's my favorite canon for the Jets is that, hey, this guy beats the Patriots a lot. Let's sign him. Hey, this is great. Go 2-16. Although they've already lost twice to the Patriots, so never mind. Jamal Adams is an asshole too. And
he was my favorite pick when we got him. I was so excited.
I was really excited. He was one of my favorite players on the Jets. Listen, you don't get to decide if you stay with the team, okay? The general manager will shop you around. Period. You don't like it, you don't play in the NFL. Because every bad team will do that. They will try to ship off whatever they can to get something for it.
Right, and I like I said, I'm a fan of Jamal Adams, but if the Cowboys offered us 3 or 4 first-round picks, bye, go to Dallas,
Go to Dallas, go to hell, go to, I don't know where you want to go.
I'd send you to Japan for 5 first-round picks if they offered it. Jesus, go. They don't even have a team.
Yeah, he now plays for the Yomiuri Giants.
Jesus. We got anything else?
Are we almost at the end?
I've literally been going for 30 minutes.
You have not been going for no goddamn 30 minutes. Okay, maybe like collectively after I got here, possibly. There's no way he was going for 30 minutes. Yeah, now it's 30.
Yeah,
okay.
I did 15 by myself.
I'm very proud of you.
I am too. It was a great 15 minutes, and then you come and you fuck everything up.
I made this more entertaining than it ever could have been.
Okay, so what are we going to talk about now?
I guess we can talk about a lot of people like mustard on their sandwiches, right? And I got to be honest with you. Mustard alone just will never do it for me. I don't get it. I don't understand it. You eat a sandwich and you just put mustard on it.
Who puts mustard on a sandwich?
Well, I mean, mustard can go on a sandwich.
Oh, Joe, go away, Joe.
Just mustard?
I've done it.
He's done it.
I've got diabetes, so I can't eat bread anymore.
Wait. What? Okay. Oh, no, I get it. So you don't do it anymore because you don't eat bread. Okay, all right. I tried hard to connect those dots, and
This is not. Yeah.
it's got to be mayo as a base, and then you put your mustard on it.
Mayo.
Now, on hot dogs,
Yeah, hot dogs on mustard, yeah.
you got to have the mustard. And what is up with people hating on ketchup on a hot dog?
I like both.
They should both go on there.
I mean, that's what they were invented for.
Yeah, I feel like if
I like
you're-
both on French fries, too.
Yeah, okay. Both? What? Mustard, too?
Yeah, I do both. French fries, yeah. Yeah, I love mustard.
All right, am I the only normal person in this room?
I don't
Because
put
if
it
that's
on
the
a
case,
sandwich,
that's an
but
issue.
no, dude, French fries and mustard is great. You're crazy.
No,
I'm not
I
gonna-
will disagree, and I will say a mix of ketchup and mayonnaise on French fries is good.
Fucking mayonnaise, ew.
Ketchup, yeah, that's
No,
one of those.
That is gross. Mayonnaise is gross.
Maybe you're gross and you just don't know it.
Tub of gross mayonnaise, white grossness. Ugh.
You're not supposed to just eat the mayonnaise.
I hate mayonnaise so much. It's like fluff. I hate fluff. I hate Nutella. I hate mayonnaise.
You hate Nutella.
I cannot stand Nutella. It's so overrated. It is so overrated.
How could you?
No, seriously, Nutella sucks. Fuck you guys. Whoever invented Nutella, fuck you. It sucks.
Some Italian guy.
It's a piece of shit thing to invent. Fuck you. Sorry, I'm okay. It's been a long 2 weeks without you. See how triggered I get?
You had become desensitized to me. You had become desensitized to me, and now you're not used to me.
Yeah.
And now here I am taking a dump right on your underpants. Do we have anything else to talk about?
No, I thought you were going to bring up sports and you brought up mustard. So I guess we're
I guess we're done.
We're done. This is 27 Down, the perfect podcast for the perfect game. See you guys next week.